if I can do it, being a single parent to my son, everybody else can do this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Career Success Guide CSG. My name is Jaya, I'm a career coach. Today we will do our 10th episode of Chat Show Meet and Connect with a Pro. Our special guest is Ruchi. Ruchi is an internationally trained lawyer that is working as a legal and communications manager at CardiAI in Calgary, Alberta. Let's get to know her a little bit more. Ruchi, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jaya. Thank you so very much for calling me here and giving me the time to express what exactly I've gone through. So thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. You have studied and worked in India, then you moved to Canada. How was that transition like?
Anybody who moves from India to Canada, they definitely feel that bubble, because they get separated from their families, and at the same time, they have a lot of aspirations that they have to get settled here. There are many things which basically goes through that particular mind who is migrating, who is coming from India to Canada. It same happened with me. And the moment I reached here, I was in the plane. I was just weaving my dreams. I'll go there. Some job must be waiting for me. People will find me more qualified. People will find me more experienced because I came on express entry visa. I came straight away on the PR. So I was very much hopeful that I might get a lot of options. But the moment my flight landed, and the very next day, I still remember that day. I landed and my friend, my soul sister, she came and picked me up from the airport. And she started telling me, Ruchi, this is not cake. You'll just walk over that. It's something which you have to think over. That was the first sentence she told me. It's like, really? But I'm experienced. I was like, I'm experienced. I have 10 years experience back home. Like I was working as a placement director with one of the institutions there in Punjab. So I was like, no, it'll be okay. I'll be fine. But no, that was seriously not the way I thought it was. So, the next very day, she told me that it's fine. You can rest for another week, but you have to find something for yourself. And I also had some family, problems going on at that point of time. And I had my son with me. I am a single parent, just so everybody knows that. So, but he, however, managed me to get a job with the daycare. That is again something which is worth telling, and that's kind of a story for the audience also to know. Now, while I started working with the daycare, I was like, Ruchi, I never took care of my own kid. What am I doing here? This is something which I'm not meant for sure. Then, finally, I made up my mind and I started working. I was like, fine, let's just start our life, because that was a need of the hour and I needed money, and everybody has bills here. Everybody has to go through that particular phase. So I made up my mind. I should also mention that I'm a very determined kind of a woman. Yeah. It's like I determine something, beg, borrow, steal, I'll fulfill that. That's something which is kind of a strength, kind of a weakness, the culmination of both. Then that daycare thingy happened. Finally, I just overcame that. Then through that journey, I met Jaya. I remember somebody told me that it's all about networking here. Yes. And I made my LinkedIn account more. I had that account before, but I was never active on that. So, I started making more activities on LinkedIn. I made it more happening in the sense I added all of my experiences in a very, cosmetic form so that people start noticing me. But unfortunately, nobody did. And then I met you. I think I requested you for a connection, and I think you are here to help people like us. And you gave me that opportunity to talk to me at that point of time. And that basically changed. I would be very honest here. That basically changed everything. You started telling me, Ruchi, it's all about skills, enhance your skills. you'll get accustomed, you'll get acclimatized to this environment, this culture. So yes, then I started reading a lot of the things. The failure of getting no recognition for my qualification, plus the urge of everybody, looking for a Canadian experience. That was the big, big problem for me. And also, I didn't know anybody here who could have given my reference. That's the second part. It's like who you know matters the most than what you know. Yeah. Then the third thing which didn't come through my life was whenever I used to go, I was interviewed thrice. And I think one interview was because of you. You gave my reference to one of the companies there.
Yeah.
The only thing which I faced was I'm overqualified.
Oh.
I was like, and also they also had this point, once we retain you, once we hire you, you are just looking for a ladder. Once I hire you, you get an admin kind of experience, an HR kind of experience, or any kind of experience, which is corporate experience, I would say. Mm-hmm. I would just, grab that. And after a week or month or maybe 6 months, I would probably think of myself. I was like, and I leave that job. And even at one interview, I was being told that you are a lawyer, you'll be a lawyer. Then tell us, why should we hire you? I didn't have any answer. Mm-hmm. At that point of time, I realized that it's better to, finish my education here mm-hmm. and get forward with what exactly I'm here for. And 2019, I got myself assessed with what you call FLSC, that's Federation of Law Societies of Canada. And they assessed me and they allocated me 5 subjects to write, which was just to prove my equivalency of the law degree back home in India to the law degree here in Canada. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't prepared for it, but I had to. I had no other option. While I was in that process, when I got assessed, I think January, I booked one of my exams, but I withdrew it. The first exam was in January 2020. I withdrew that exam. The only reason why I withdrew was I was not prepared. I was into that bad phase of that immigration transition. I was like, Ruchi, this is not a cup of tea for me for sure. I won't be able to study because it was already 8 years, gap between what I did in India and what I'm doing here. I left my studies 8 years ago, that time in 2019. That was the last year of my studies was 2011. And for me, for a mother, and that too for a single mother, it was like hell of an affair. But I would do that. And then finally, during March 2020, when pandemic hit, mm-hmm. I was like, there was a lot of depression all around. We were all at home. I thought Ruchi, I think God, I always believe I'm God's child. Everybody is, but I am literally blessed. I always thank God that, I'm here in bad phases also. Then finally, I thought this is something which has been given to me by the God. I tried to pick that half glass full of water rather than seeing the half glass empty. It's like, just go for it. Then March 2020, I decided. And since then, I just wrote it back to back. The first one I did was in August. The second one was in October. Second and third was in October. The third was in, I wrote 2 together in October. That means 3 in total. 1 in January and 1 in February. I'm all done.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so very much. And I finished them all in February 2021. And results were out in April. So I'm certified, NCA certified. So I have certificate of qualification. That's the first step for being a lawyer. And hopefully next year, March 2022, I'll get a call to bar.
Oh, that's awesome. How difficult was this test and the process?
Well, NCA, you can see a lot of groups here and there, people have. And I would say it's all about mind games, It's difficult. I would not say that they are not. But once you get that, just that flow of how to do it, you'll definitely get that done. So the first one was definitely difficult for me, because since I'm a person who is kind of a old school, who can write on a piece of paper rather than typing on the computer. Since there was pandemic, we didn't have that opportunity to go in a hall, start writing that on a piece of paper. It was all online. That was the biggest transition which I could have felt, that, my typing, I was worried. I am good at typing, but I was worried that would I be able to match that time of 4 hours to write my exam? And the exam is not that small. It's not objective type. It's not multiple choice questions. It's a kind of subjective test. That was the big thing, which actually was a hindrance. But that didn't stop me. I had those words from you in my mind that you don't have skill, you don't have anything. So just go forward and start working towards it. And yes, I finished that. And the first exam result came out in November. By that time, I already wrote other two exams. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there were jitterbugs. I was nervous, like whether would I be able to clear all of them or whether would I fail. But the last one was a big hiccup. Like I got stuck at that. I wrote my last exam in February 2021, on 22nd of February. I still remember the dates. While I was writing that exam was something everybody was worried for. Everybody was telling me that, the foundations is the difficult subject ever. You have to be very particular about how you, while we do law, we have 4 different things to write. It's always about issues, rules, application, and conclusion. So you have to have some issue, you have to find the issue, then you have to find the rules, what rules exist. You need to apply them, and then you need to have your own conclusion as a lawyer. So I was like, let it be. I wrote that, and until 16th of April, I was like so worried, whether would I pass, whether would I fail. The moment I saw the pass thingy, I was like, wow, I'm done with my journey.
Oh, that's so great. Your story can inspire a lot of people, and I'm glad I could be a part of it, at least a bit. And,
you were.
Talking to you.
Indeed, you were, Jaya.
Oh.
If I'm again, thankful that yes, I came across people like you who basically gives the next person a courage. And also, I remember, I should mention it here, you also gave my reference to your workplace, I think.
Yeah.
I still remember. Look, now the change came. I moved from Edmonton. I was in Edmonton at that time.
Yeah, so you landed in Edmonton and then you moved to Calgary for work. So which city do you prefer, especially for people like you in law field?
Now Calgary is my home, definitely. I will never leave Calgary. So, and if I compare Edmonton with Calgary, yes, Calgary has given me more opportunities, and in a very good way. You can notice that change in me.
Yeah, of course, I've seen that.
Yes, I am more confident. I am now, I get nervous, but I just do that, with a shine and with a smile on face. It's like Calgary has a lot of opportunities in terms of legal field as well. I got my articling position here only. So I would explain that a little later when you'll ask me about those questions, if you have those. So yes, Calgary is better than Edmonton, but I have left my family, my sister. I told you, my sister, soul sister. That's something, again, a bubble that will remain forever. But she comes often. I haven't been to Edmonton since I've moved to Calgary.
Oh, that's been a long time then.
1.5 years. I never came to Edmonton again. Yeah.
Okay, great. So you kind of talked about challenges of, immigrating and settling down. Is there anything that you left out and you want to talk about that challenge so that somebody else watching video can learn from that experience?
I believe, I also faced one major, not major, I would say, that was a kind of a barrier for me, the accent. So that was also something I felt here. I was very good in I could communicate well. I could speak well. I could express myself in a very good way. But yes, whoever is coming to Canada, whoever is here, if he or she feels that, they lack somewhere, that's something, yes, they should work on. Because it definitely, they should start reading, they should start, writing something on LinkedIn or maybe anywhere, whichever platform they feel like. And they'll have critics, definitely. People will start criticizing. But I believe that's something everybody should do. I did that. I'm not saying that I tried to pick that accent up, but I really tried hard because, again, it's like while in Rome, do like Romans do. Yeah. So I believe, yes, you should, to just, acclimatize yourself to a certain culture. And Canadian work culture is different.
Yes.
In a way that it requires that, like the other day I was talking to somebody that while I was in India, when, there used to be a power failure or anything, your works, everybody stops you, working. They were like, oh, wow, it's fun day now. But here, nothing stops like that. If you are at work, 8 hours of work, come home, then you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
That's a suggestion to new immigrants that, yes, recognition of your credentials, yes, people do recognize, but if you add some condiment to it, then it gets more, more coverage, you get more light, and people start noticing you. That's true. That's something that every immigrant should start working towards. If they feel that they are less communicative, they should start working towards that before they enter the corporate culture. If they have that, nobody can stop them. That's something, and if you wear that confidence, then yes, nothing else is needed more than these two things.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Of course, people should work on their communication skills, and that is one thing that most of the employers look for while they're hiring. So and about the work culture, I totally agree with you, because the reason why immigrants are not finding the kind of jobs they're looking for is majorly because employers worry that you would not fit into the work culture that they have.
Exactly.
So definitely good points. Yeah, so you got your Canadian equivalency for your law degree from India. So what was that process like? Can you just, split it down so that it's easy for somebody to, write it down and follow the process?
Yes. So when any internationally trained lawyer comes in Canada, if he or she has done his school from a recognized university, so Canada gives you an opportunity, first of all. There's a Federation of Law Societies of Canada. They assess your degree, and on the basis of marks, plus on the basis of the subjects you have chosen back home, they give you, the gap. There are 5 compulsory subjects which are mandatory for everybody to write, whoever gets assessed here. There is no ifs and buts. You have to write, means you have to write. So yes, some of the students may get 10, some of the students may get 7 exams, but those 5 exams are mandatory. So they are constitutional law, they are foundation law. One is PR, professional responsibility, and one is administrative law, and the last one is criminal law. So these are the 5 mandatory exams which every internationally trained lawyer has to write once they get their equivalency done here with FLSC. That's the first step. So since we are in Alberta, so Alberta has a different set of rules because it's a regulated profession, you know that. So every province, it's regulated provincially as well as federally. Federal regulation is FLSC, as I told you. Provincial is Law Society of Alberta. So I'll explain you about Law Society of Alberta first, and then I'll probably go to Ontario. So for me, since I'm in Alberta, I had to go through next 2 steps, right? So first, once I cleared my NCA, which is assessed, I told you, by FLSC, I have finished that step. Then I have to have an articling position. Articling position, 8 to 12 months articling position with a firm here in Alberta, plus CPLET. That's a prep course, which every lawyer, internationally trained lawyer, has to undergo. Since you mentioned that, work culture and skill. So this is a skill for a lawyer. For us, learning never ends. Every day is a learning. For certain professions, you do something, you learn it, you are done. You can start working. For us, we have to learn every day. So that's something which helps us to learn, because that's something for 1 year, 9 months. So 8 months of articling and parallelly 9 months of that CPLED course makes you, that's the part of admission to bar. So first is clear NCA, that's the first step that makes you a candidate who has done law from Canada. That first step is finished. Then an articling position plus CPLED, and here you go. This is for Alberta. But for Ontario, it's a little different. Ontario, they have a bar exam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's barrister and solicitor exams separately. So you write both of them. There are multiple choice questions in those exams. And once you clear that, you are straight away a licensed lawyer.
Oh.
After NCA. NCA is the major step which everybody has to undergo. After that, Alberta has 2 different things. Ontario has 1 different thing. So that's how it works.
Yeah, it looks like it's, it's a long process, but do something doable.
It's doable. If somebody starts thinking over it, mm-hmm. and I'm always there. Anybody can find me on LinkedIn. I can help them because, I think everybody should help each other, specifically when we are in a new country.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Awesome. So we can talk about skills that requires you to be successful in law field in Canada. What are the skills that anyone should develop as you go?
Okay, so the first skill is, again, you have to be very good in verbal and non-verbal communication. That's the first and important part to just get along this easily and comfortably. Second is, yes, you have to kind of have a good knowledge of your technical. You should have that technical expertise as well. If you don't have that, if you have that gap, I would not say that you should have everything intact in your head. But if you think that you lack somewhere, before writing the exam, you start collecting all that information, technical information, and then get ready and then sit for the exam. Failing that exam would actually, I would not say that would stop your success, but failing that exam would probably put you in that mindset of that it's difficult. So the first exam, I would urge everyone, I would say, tell it to everyone that don't just leave the hopes, just start working towards that. The 2 major things which they should work towards, the NCA thing is technical expertise for sure. Second is your verbal and non-verbal kind of communication skills. So that probably would help. And also a person should have critical kind of thinking process. And again, one is the last thing is networking. They should definitely not stop doing that. If they think, even if they would think that, while writing an exam, what networking would do. Networking does a lot of part. Networking helps you to build that motivation, and yes, that certainly helps.
Can you tell me about your networking journey and, you revamped your LinkedIn profile once you landed here, and how was that process like, and, how exactly did networking help you?
Okay, so yes, initially when I started changing my LinkedIn profile, I had issues because I had that Indian, way of handling the pages or the social media. Again, this is also different here. This is what I found different. In India, people used to just pick some quotation, post it, move forward. That's what used to happen. But here, everybody was having their own content. They were trying to write something. I also tried once or twice. I tried, but after that, I just got busy with my exams. But now I'm going to start back again. So it's about start writing whatever you feel that people would be happy to read. And then when I revamped my LinkedIn, initially I had challenges. People, they were not accepting my invites. They were not ready to make connections with me. But, once I had a few connections, I don't know how did that happen. People started noticing that she has this person also. Let's just add her. She's legit. she's a kind of an authentic woman. Just add her, add her, add her, add her. So yes, like that, I started adding a lot of people as my connections. And also, Jaya, I would mention that there are a lot of people, they talk to me on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got a lot of job offers as well.
That's nice.
Yes, after I joined CardiAI, which is my present work company here in Calgary, there was, I came across a lot of headhunting. Even my employer tells me that I was sharing it with him that, your employees are getting highlighted because it's a big biotech company, and he's also working towards the society and to help the society by bringing in a lot of things for the health of society. So he gets noticed. Ultimately, we got noticed, and yes,
that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so LinkedIn really works, and I think networking works, and it's just how you do it. I often come across people say that, oh, I made my profile and nobody's accepting my connection request, I'm done. It's not like that. It takes time.
No, yes.
Slowly you will build that network. You start with your friends, family, relatives, and your acquaintance, then you kind of widen your network, right?
Exactly. And also the one point you mentioned that, initially you'll feel a lot of challenges that people are not responding well, but you have to initiate that conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And I would suggest and recommend, have kind of small script ready for yourself. Whenever you feel that you have made a connection, just send that script, or maybe a kind of personalized kind of a small text message to make that person feel important. That only can make you, noticeable. Otherwise, nobody would notice us. Yes.
Yeah. Anything else that you will speak about to the viewers?
I would only say everybody that, everybody faces that difficulty while somebody comes to a new country. But I would request and I would suggest everyone that don't just feel that we are in a new country, we don't have friends, we don't have relatives. It's just, you need to just, dip in the water, start swimming, you'll learn it and you'll swim through. If I can do it, being a single mother, single parent to my son, everybody else can do this. It's something which is worth experiencing. And also, I also would suggest, just don't look after short-term goals. Just don't look after money that, I'll build this, I'll have to have a house, I have to have a car. That's all necessities, I understand. But only have that vision, like what you would want yourself to be at after 10 years here. If you look yourself as a worker with some company, then start working towards that, any particular company which you feel you want to be with. So like I thought of doing law. I am on that vision. Even if it doesn't help me later, I don't mind that, but I am using that path and I'm just working towards it. I would also urge audience, whoever is listening to me today or maybe seeing me, that just don't leave hopes. Start working towards your vision, and I think nobody can stop you.
Ruchi, that's so inspirational. I'm pretty sure there's a lot to learn from your success story, and I am happy and glad to host you here, and I'm pretty sure you're going to inspire a lot of people, especially immigrants.
Thank you so very much, Jaya, and I get inspired from you. The last thing which I should mention, and audience should know, whoever wants help in terms of what skills do they go for, I think, and even you suggested me, I should also mention that. How can I forget that? Suggested me to go with Coursera, if I still remember. So I would suggest my audience, go to Coursera and start working towards little, small, courses. It would help you. And they are free also. Some of them are free also.
Yeah.
So yes, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jaya. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day, you. If you like such content, please like, share and comment on this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.